Welcome to Pouches and More. Today we'll be preparing this cute coin pouch. It's got a set of snap buttons. Now I've kept coins in it. You can keep coins, keys, any small thing that you like. So let's check out the materials required to make this cute coin pouch. So let's get started. We require 2 pieces of main fabric that have been fused with interfacing. We also require 2 pieces of lining, and they both measure 6 inches by 4 inches. We require 1 piece of fabric measuring 2 inches by 3 inches. 2 pieces of fabric measuring 2¼ inches by 2¼ one is fused, one is not fused. And we require 1 set of snap buttons. Now first we'll prepare the loop. For that we fold the fabric in half. We'll again join the raw edges to the center like this, and we'll again fold it in half. Now we have to make a stitch on both sides. I'll just clip it to secure it, and I'll make a stitch on both sides. Next we are going to prepare the flap for this. This is the fused part. We are going to make a mark of ½ inch on both the sides like this, and on the other sides also. This is the 2¼ inch cloth which has been fused. Now we are going to join these 2 marks. Next what I want to do is we are going to cut this mark. So it is in the shape of a flap now. So it looks like this. Now we are going to take the main other fabric, 2¼ inch, and the right sides together. We are going to place it like this, and we are going to make just align the whole thing, and we are going to make a stitch all around, not on top, all around over here. Next we'll take the lining fabric and we'll prepare that also. So we're going to place the right sides together of the lining fabric, align it properly from all the sides, and we're going to make a stitch all around, but we're going to leave this much. That is for turning the fabric inside out. Now for the main fabric, we are going to place the right sides together, main fabric right sides together, align it and make a stitch all around, 3 sides complete. So first we'll stitch the loop. So we're going to make a straight stitch on both the sides. So I've finished doing that. Next we'll take the flap. We are going to stitch the 3 sides. It's a simple stitch all around, and everything will start and stop with the back stitch. So that's done. The flap is done. It looks like this. Next we'll take the lining fabric. This is the marking that we have done. We are going to leave this much. So in this lining fabric also, we are going to start and stop with the back stitch. So that is done. This is the lining fabric. Now next we are going to take the main fabric and we are going to stitch all around. We finished stitching the main fabric also. So finished stitching everything. Now we'll take the main fabric and we'll box the corners. So we'll mark 1 inch on this side, it is from the stitch mark. We are going to mark 1 inch for boxing. This is 1 inch marking. This is from the stitch mark and on both the sides. From the stitch mark we are going to mark 1 inch and we are going to box it. So this is done over here. We are going to do this in the lining fabric also and cut it. So I finished cutting the main fabric and the lining fabric. We have turned it inside out and we have made a top stitch over here. This is the flap. So I finished doing all this. Now we are going to stitch the boxing. So for that we are going to just split it like this, the stitch mark. We are just going to flatten it like this with our hands. You can iron it. Now we are going to join the stitch marks like this and make a straight stitch. We are just going to clip it now. We will do this for the other side also. We are going to split the stitch marks like this. The seam we are going to split it and we are going to make a straight mark stitch over here. We are just going to clip it and make a straight stitch. We are going to do this for the lining fabric also. Now the seams we are just going to open it and flatten it, get the seam stitch marks together, clip it, make a straight stitch. So we will first stitch the lining. It's just a simple straight stitch. We are going to start and stop with the back stitch. So this is, we are going to start and stop with the back stitch and we are going to do this for the main fabric also. It's just a simple straight stitch. So finish doing that. We finished stitching it. Now we are going to turn it. We are going to push out the corners like this. Now we have to put the flap. For that we need the center. So we are going to match the stitch marks like this. And we are going to get a center point over here. We are going to make a marking. This is our center. Now we'll take the flap, we'll fold it in half and we'll mark a center. So next what we are doing is, we'll take this is our center mark. We are going to take this loop which we have done and we are going to first place it in the center, loop side up, raw side on top. Then we'll place the flap. Everything will be, the center marks will be matching and we are going to just clip it now. We have to make a stitch over here. So now we are going to clip it. So it is, we have to make a straight stitch. So it is flap, loop and main fabric. So we are going to make a straight stitch over here. So on the main fabric the loop will come first and then the flap, and then we are going to stitch it and all the raw edges will be together. So the loop also faces down and the flap main top part faces down. Raw edges are together and we're going to make a simple straight stitch now over here. So I finished doing that. So this is done. Now what we are going to do is, this is our main fabric pouch. This is our lining fabric which we have finished stitching and we have left an opening over here. Now the right sides, the main fabric right side, we are going to put it inside the lining fabric. So the right sides touch each other inside. So the right sides are touching each other. We are going to match the stitch marks. We are going to open the seams. We are going to match the stitch marks and we are going to clip it. So remember, the pouch, the right side will be facing inside. Inside means facing the lining. It is touching the lining, main right side. So the right sides are together. Now we are just going to match the stitch marks and clip it all around. We have to make a stitch all around over here. We're just going to match all align all the fabric like this, both the fabrics. Now make a stitch all around over here. So it is a simple straight stitch. So carefully do it, since the pouch is small, it might be a little difficult with the clips. finished doing that now. Now from this opening we'll turn the whole thing inside out. Just push the whole thing from the opening and it'll be done. So you have to turn it inside out. Now we need to push the corners also out neatly. Before that we need to push the main fabric corners out. Now we need to stitch this opening over here. We can either hand stitch it, this opening, we can either hand stitch it or machine stitch it. So I finished stitching the opening. I've done a machine stitch and we have clipped the whole thing around. We need to make a top stitch all around. So the flap and the loop are facing up and we're making a top stitch. So all around we'll be making a top stitch. So that's done. Now the only thing left in this is, these are the boxed corners. Now we need to make a stitch over here to give it the proper shape. For that, the boxing side corner, we're just going to fold it like this. Everywhere where the boxing comes, that line, we are going to fold it like this. Now we have to make a 1 inch marking over here. It is lengthwise 1 inch marking. Just a small stitch like a dart, how we do it. Just around 1 inch from top. It is just to give the shape of the pouch. We'll do it for all the 4 corners. So every vertex of the boxing we are going to do this small dart of 1 inch. This is how it will be. So now we have to put a snap button over here. It has come to shape. This is how it will be. We'll put a snap button over here. So I finished putting the snap button and this is how the complete pouch will look. So it is done. It is that simple and it looks cute. So please do try this cute coin pouch. Thanks for watching and bye.